Hey y'all, it's Joanna, and I love to DIY on a budget and make beautiful home decor. And if you like to sew, then catch me on Saturdays. Now, let's get crafty. It's that time again. It's Christmas, and this is the first of the month playlist with host Krista from Krista's Crafty Life and Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY. Make sure you check out the entire playlist. Now, let's get started. So I've got these two fuzzy things, but I only use one. And then I have this pillowcase, pillow sham, whatever. And then I have this sign. Oh, I saw a hat when I first saw it. So I picked it up at Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove the twine hanger. And I got the pillow sham from Goodwill. Yep, that's where I was, Goodwill. So I'm going to take the pillow sham and I am simply going to cut the fabric pieces away. I just want that front decorative quilted part. So I'm just going to tear all this off. So isn't it beautiful? I loved it. So I've got strings on it that I got to take off. And I'm so sorry that it's kind of bright, but that's natural light from my room. I even had the curtain shut. So yeah, it is pretty bright and I'm sorry, and I've got white hands and that just reflects, but it is what it is. So I'm going to take all these strings out, and then when I get all my strings out, I am going to take fabric tack, and I'm going to put fabric tack on the majority of this, and then I am going to take hot glue and go around the outside of it, and just tack that down. Now I am not cutting it down to size. I'm just centering this the best I can. It ain't got to be perfect, but I want that I wanted the middle one, but I didn't want to waste all that, so I just put this on there. And when I peel it up and have any edges that are not stuck, I'm going to put hot glue on it and just stick it down, and then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to take my scissors and I'm simply going to cut around it, but I'm going to leave an edge, and it's just a little piece there, and I got a little close right there. I was cutting backwards, but anyway, I'm going to fold that over and glue it down, and that's going to secure it down just a little bit better. That way it don't have a ragged edge on the outside. So all I'm going to do is just fold it over, put glue down, go around and do one side, and then go around and do the other side. Now I'm just going to take and cut this in half. Now beware, when you cut these little things, this is one of their mop pads. It fuzzes out everywhere and it makes a complete mess. If you pull too much, you'll pull all the fuzzy out too. So you have to be careful when you're pulling so that you don't pull everything out. But I'm only going to use one mop pad. I was going to use the whole pad, but it was just too fluffy and I didn't want it that way. But that edge right there, we're going to cover that up, so you're not even going to see all that ragginess and all that junk. And the good thing about this sign was everything was so thick, I didn't have to paint nothing. So that was a win-win. So I'm going to trim it up here, but you see all that nasty? It can be worse. I'm telling you, I've done it. It can be worse. But anyway, there's part of it. Now I trimmed that one end off to make it flat because it was rounded, but I'm going to cut a piece off of this one after I get the fuzzies out just to match it up. I'm just taking my big glue gun because I'm going to use a lot of glue, and I didn't want to squeeze out all that little one and have to add another stick or whatever. But I'm just going to use glue, hot glue, and I'm going to tack this down. Now I'm going to tack it on the top for sure to make sure that, the edge don't show. But then I'm going to tack it everywhere. And I'm just going a little at a time, so that way my glue don't get cold and clunky or whatever. So there goes that half, and you can see where I just cut it straight and cut that curved edge off. And then I cut off the other curved edge to put on the other end. And it just matches up just perfect. I'm telling you, just perfect. So I'm just going to slap that right down there. And then you see those little ears that stick up? I'm going to trim those off. It looks like that right there that I'm touching. It looks weird. And that was coming off, so I have to tack it back down. So I'm going to give it a trim and get them fuzzies that I'm playing with off. Yep, right there I go. I'm going to get the other side. And then, that's so cute, ain't it? It looks like a big giant hat. I loved it. I love it. But anyway, I'm going to take some greenery. This came from Walmart. That came from Walmart, 98 cents. It's rubbery. I love how it feels. I don't know. I love it. So anyway, it just pulled right out of there. So easy peasy. So I'm going to take these, and I have this glitter. You can't see that, but it's glitter. Diamond dust glitter. There it is. I got that from the Dollar Tree. I got green, red, and silver. But before I do that, I'm going to take this cottage white. It's paint. It's chalk paint, and I've had it in here, and it's drying up. And I'm going to take a chippy brush, okay? And since these are rubber, they're kind of hard to paint, and I don't want full coverage on them, by no means. So I'm just going to take and pounce that in. I'm just pouncing paint over them to make it look like snow. Then when I get the snow on it, I'm going to do the same pouncing effect with the glitter. And I also have these pink poinsettias. I got these last year, but they look a little frumpy. So I'm going to take 2 of them and make 1 of them. And I'm just going to take it apart, and I'm going to smush it back together. And but I'll have 1 middle and 1 back left, but that's okay. I don't care. I'm not wasting anything really. So I'm just going to twist these to where they look mismatched. So that way it makes it look fuller. You know what I'm saying? So once I get them all squished back together, I'm going to be using that for the hat. But I have the greenery that I got to put on it first, and some other stuff I got to do. But that's how you make a fuller flower if they look a little sparse and raggedy. So now I'm going to take the greenery, and I don't want to glue it just straight to that fabric. So I'm going to take some, oh goodness, what is that stuff called? Well, you see it right there. Oh, felt. This is Dollar Tree felt, and it is very thin. Like, you'll get burnt. I'm just saying. But anyways, I'm using it because it's white. So I'm going to take these, and I'm trying to figure out how I want them. I think I want them like that right there. So I'm going to tack them down with glue. Okay. Once I get them tacked down. And then I'm going to take a piece of felt, and I'm going to glue a piece of felt on there. This will help hold it down. I used to make hair bows, so using felt holds things like on metal and stuff like that, and it holds it down, and that just is burning the fire out of me because it is so thin. But anyway, that's my fault. But be careful when you do these. So I'm going to stick that one down. And I'm just tapping on that sucker because I know it's hot. And then once I get that down there, I am going to take some ribbon. This is ribbon that I got at the Dollar Tree. And this is in the bridal part. You know, the party part. Party part. It's in the party part. But anyway, I thought it was pretty. And it's awesome for Christmas. So I want to make sure it's big enough to go around that big poinsettia, whatever you call it, tomato, potato. So I'm just looping it around, okay? Just loop it around, just making loops. That's all I'm doing. And I'm going to put that right in there. And now I'm going to crisscross it, and I don't know where everything is right now. I rearranged my room, so I'm going to staple it. So I'm going to put a staple in it. I look like I am going downhill, and that's wonky. That's making me feel weird. I don't know. I'm not straight on. I gotta fix my camera. That's nuts. That makes me feel weird. But anyway, I'm gonna take this bow, and I'm going to glue it on. I tacked it with glue because in case the staple slips or something. So I'm gonna take this twine. I don't know. I got this at Hobby Lobby, and my lighting is terrible. Everything is going wrong here. But anyway, well, it looked better before, but I'm still going downhill. Y'all see that? How it's going downhill on that one side? It's not going downhill. My camera's set wrong. I'm gonna have to fix it. I'm gonna have to tweak it. Tweak it. I'm gonna have to tweak it. Lord, have mercy. I'm stressed out. Look, I'm gonna put my bells on there. I think these bells are pretty, so I'm just gonna. I put that string through it. Y'all seen what I did, okay? And then I'm going to tack it down. I got something to tack it down with. That was hot. Oh, no, I didn't. I had to have another glue stick. I'm so crazy. So, I'm putting glue on top of it just to make sure it stays there. And then I'm going to set my bow right on that, where I put that glue. It'll hold the one side, but I had to add more glue. So I'm just going to set that down on there. Fix my loopies. And then I'm going to cut the back. I had to cut the back on the flower just a little bit, but you don't want to cut it too much because it'll fall apart. But I have to cut the back a little bit, and then I'm going to put a lot of glue, like a blob, and then smush that down in that blob. And the reason I'm doing a blob is so it'll hold on better. It just smushes it all around it. So, yeah. So that's that. Now I'm going to have to add a hanger, but I can't put it where it was because it's heavy on that one side, see? So it'll be wonky. So I've got a mark where I'm going to put it, and I thought, no, it's not hanging right. So I had to remark it. So I remarked that. Well, I was going to use my crocodile, but it wouldn't get on there. So I'm going to have to get my crocodile Big Bite. Good Lord, I cannot talk. Big Bite. Crocodile Big Bite. My husband bought me this. And I was shocked. He bought it. He said, look at this. Could you use this? I'm like, yeah. So he bought it for me. But anyway, yeah. So I got to put that hanger in there so it'll go in the middle. So I'm going to take a piece of this. And I was going to just stick it through and tie it. And I thought, no, I ain't going to do that. So I'm going to take a piece off. And I'm going to cut it. I'm going to tie a knot in the end. And then I'm going to run the loop part through there. Let's just smush that through that hole. And then I'm going to bring it back up and loop it in. Yeah, like that right there. You just put it inside itself and pull it up. If you can't get it right, just do it and do it and do it until you get it right. There, my lighting's back. I'm so wonky. But anyway, I still got to fix my camera. Sorry, my big old head's in there. I'm standing up. I'm just going to put that pom-pom right there. And it covers up the hole and everything. Make sure you pull your doodad out the back, and that kind of evens it out. But yeah, there it was. I'll show you that one in the reveal. This one, I'm just taking one of these styrofoam cones. I don't know if I got this at Hobby Lobby or Dollar Tree. They have them at either place. But I've got this fabric, and I don't like it. Man, that looks weird on camera, don't it? But it's stripes, and it just makes my eyes feel ugh. But anyway, yeah. So I'm going to fold it over, and I'm cutting about, it's 5 inches, okay? I measure it later. Those scissors, I thought, don't use those scissors. So I'm just going to get my fabric scissors, and I'm going to cut this out. And then when I unfold it, it's 5 inches. Okay, I folded that up, and I don't know why I did it, because I needed 2 of these. So it's 5 inches tall, and it's 45 wide, because it's a yard of fabric. So they're 45 wide cuts, but they're only 5 inches tall. These do not have to be perfect. Oh, they're 5.5. I wrote it on my table. I gotta go erase it. It's 5.5. My bad. 5.5. That's what it was. 5.5. So I'm gonna take these, and I am going to go coffee stain them. Okay, and what that means is I'm gonna make instant coffee, and I'm gonna dip them down in instant coffee, and stain them, and put them in the dryer, and I'll be back in a minute. So we are coffee stained, and I am just going to take and clip about 1/2 inch, and then I am going to start ripping fabric. You see I got some in the top already ripped. I just wanted to make sure I had the right size. So I'm just going to rip a ton of 1/2 inch strips. These do not have to be perfect by no means, okay? So you got to make sure you get all your rags off. That's a lot of rags. Or strings. Get all your strings off. So I'm going to take my cone, and I'm just going to fold these over. You could do the same thing with ribbon, okay? And I am going to glue it to there, and I'm letting it hang down some, okay? I had to go get my low temp gun. You will burn right through the styrofoam. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't, I guess. So I got my low temp gun, okay, and that was a mess. That did not work. I didn't like that thing. I'll just tell you. But I'm going to fold them in half, and then I'm just going to fold them over. Now, I'll tell you, I eventually gave up on this and just started folding them in half and making a bunch of them and then sticking them on. That seemed to work a whole lot better. And I'll tell you, I couldn't go in a straight line to save my life, okay? I just couldn't. But I'm overlapping them just a little bit, and I'm just going to go all the way around trying to get the same, the same height, the same around. And yeah, I'm going to show you how I put the second ones on. But I'm going to fill that up. Now, once I got those on, there's one space left. So I'm just going to put one on. And it might be smaller there. It might be bigger there. And you have to have 2 or 1.5 or whatever. Or put one overlapping, really overlapping. Look at that thing. And that's okay. It's not perfect. When you set it down, I love how it spreads out like that. So I am just going to take these and I am going to glue them together, and I'm going to go up just a little bit and just glue rows and rows and rows of these on until my tree gets full. Okay. There's me drawing my crooked line. I said growing my crooked line. Drawing a crooked line. I couldn't even follow a line. It was terrible. But anyway, yeah. So just go around and around and keep going up till you get towards the top. Now I'm at the top, and I didn't want any of that white showing. I wasn't sure. So I'm just going to take a piece and I'm going to cut a circle. And that circle is going to go all the way around that top there and fold down just a hair. And I'm going to cut it because it doesn't matter what it looks like. I'm going to cover it up on the edges. I just wanted to make sure my top was covered because I didn't know if I was going to fold any over this. I've never done one of these before. I seen it on Pinterest, and I thought I could do that with fabric. Theirs was with ribbon, and I thought I want to do mine with ragged fabric to make it look more crunchy. So that's what I did. So I cut each, little pieces out of it, and then I'm going to fold it down because if you don't cut it, it ain't going to fold down right. Mine didn't fold down right either, but it looked better than if I wouldn't have cut it. So now I'm just going to keep going around, but I am going to cut shorter pieces here in a minute. And I'm going to start filling in empty spots with pieces. So I have this, right there. So I'm just going to cut a little bit off. Now, like I said, I don't even know what this is. I think 2.5 or 3.5 if I measure. Let me see. I don't know if I measured it. Nope, I sure did not. I just cut about an inch and a half off. And then I'm going to make some shorter ones. So all I'm going to do is fold them down and make my shorter ones. And I'm going to start gluing them on the top. And I put 2 rows of them. Now, don't ask me how many loops I had. I don't know how long this took. I didn't time it, but my goodness gracious, this took forever. I had to get up and go tinkle twice during the duration of me doing this, okay? So, yeah, it took a minute. That's why my video's late, I promise. I didn't anticipate what I was getting into. So now I'm just taking twine, and this is a 4 or 4.5 inch piece here, and I'm going to just wind it around however many times I feel like I want to wind it. And then I'm going to run my string through it, and I'm going to pull it to the back, making sure that everything is still tight, or hoping everything is still tight. And I'm going to pull a tight knot. I'm going to make a tight knot. I'm going to pull it tight and make a knot. And I'll do it again. Run it through and do it again. I'm going to leave long tails because I'm going to curl them. Y'all don't make fun of me about how I do it, but, it's the only thing I had to do. So, anyway, so I'm going to sit that right there, okay? So I got to twist and get that down to the bottom so the knot's not shown, all right? So, yeah, so that's going to go right there. I want more little twirlies, okay? So when you pull it out, it automatically curls. I had the dumb, bright idea. I wanted it curlier. Like, this was not good enough for me. So I'll show you what I did, okay? So you see that curling iron down there? I didn't want to bake the jute, so I don't use that no more. I use it for crafting, so it's holding on, and I'm baking that sucker. But anyway, I'm going to take this wood that I had in my stash. You can use candlesticks. You can just leave it like it is. It doesn't matter. It is really pretty just sitting like it is. Because it fluffs out. But anyways, I wanted mine on a rustic stand. So I went in, searched my scraps. I got these at Hobby Lobby in the wedding section. Okay, when they go on, his and hers goes on 40% off. I pick a bag up most of the time. So I had them in my stash, and I just dug in there and found pieces that fit together. And I'm going to make my tree stem, tree trunk. So anyway, I'm going to glue this to the wood base, and I'm just using hot glue and wood glue, and that's what I did to hold them all together. Okay. My brother would kill me, but it's actually not that bad. So, yeah, so that's my method of curling, and it works, but it takes a minute. So, anyway, I went ahead and put fabric on the bottom, and all I did was hot glue this, and I unplugged my low temp, so this is just going to have to melt just a little bit. Now, I just ripped a piece that would go around the bottom, and I'm only doing this to cover it up, because when I put it on the tree trunk, you could see the white styrofoam, and I didn't like it. You could paint it, you could do whatever, but I just thought the fabric, I had it sitting there, so I just used it. So I just pulled it around and then cut it off. Yeah. And then I'm going to pull my loops right back over that and fluff my tree. So now I'm going to glue my little, I almost said tendrils. I'm still in fall, y'all, working on pumpkins. I'm going to glue my curly cues down there. And that's one of them. And I'm going to put the other one beside of it. And then I have these 2 rusty bells that I'm going to put on there. And I rust them. You have to make sure they're not plastic. But I rust them in vinegar, peroxide, and salt. And this stuff, you have to have it in a big container because it foams up, like it blows up, and it gets hot. So, you can look up other alternatives. I'm just telling you how I did it. It's like a science experiment that's, really going bad or something. I don't know. But it worked. And so now I'm just going to add my bow after I pull that knot down on top of all that. Okay. And I thought that my bow was fat enough to cover everything. But actually you could see it underneath of it. So I'm going to add some pine cones under there. The back, I don't even know if I did anything to the back. But the front, I'm just going to add these 2 little pine cones I had in my stash. And, yeah, just put glue on them and poke them in. And also, it's going to help hold the bow down. So I'm gluing it to the bow and to the fabric top. So, yeah. So I'm just going to hold them a minute to let them set. And there it is. So I wanted some pip berries in there, but these I got at Hobby Lobby in a pack. And I'm just going to cut them up and poke them in wherever I see fit. So now I'm just going to take hot glue. I'm not using anything but hot glue because I'm gluing it to fabric. And I'm just going to tip it up and center it, and there it is. So that one's done. This one took me nearly, I seriously don't know how long, hours. So yeah. So for this last one, this is easy peasy. I had this tray from last year. I fell in love with it. It's just beautiful, and I am using my vinyl cutter. If you don't have one, you can use stickers. You can paint this on. You have other means to put it on. But if you do need a simple vinyl cutter just for crafting, I suggest the Cricut Joy. Okay, it's the least expensive, the little Cricut Joy. It'll do what you need. It'll do your little letters for you, and it's great. I love it. I have one, and I do use it from time to time, and I love it. So that's an inexpensive little cutting machine for you. If not, like I said, you can use stickers. Dollar Tree has stickers. Walmart even has stickers. Dollar General has stickers. Just wherever you can get stickers, or you can use a stencil, or you can write it on if you have good handwriting. I do not. Mine stinks. So I'm just going to take my vinyl, take my transfer tape, burnish it down, pull my transfer tape off, and y'all, I use duct contact paper from Walmart. Not the Dollar General kind or Dollar Tree. That stuff stinks. I'm using Duck, and I love it. So, see, I love it so much, I'm going to save it. So, that's on there, and that is beautiful all by itself, is it not? And y'all, this is vinyl. You can lay cookies in there or whatever, candy. That's up to you. I'm just going to make a decorative little piece here. So I'm going to take these that I painted earlier, and I'm going to put them, and I'm going to make a swag on top of this, okay? So, y'all, when I'm standing up, I'm dancing. I got my jam on, and I'm dancing. So I'm going to hot glue these together, and I'm hot gluing the one up just a little bit because I need more room. So I'm going to put that down and smush it. And then I'm going to do the other one the same way. And then I have to trim my stems a little bit. They're not even. So I'm going to trim my stem. And then I'm going to use floral tape. Okay. I don't like floral tape, but I'm going to use it. I'm going to take the floral tape and I am going to wrap it tightly around these two pieces to join them together. You can use burlap if you want to. I didn't want a big bump on there, so I'm using floral tape. Now, the floral tape is wax. You can't glue wax. Well, I've not been able to glue wax, not with hot glue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my felt, okay? So I'm going to take a piece of felt and I'm going to glue felt around this. I am so sorry for my half bald head in here. I didn't realize I was that close to the stinking camera either. I wasn't even thinking. I was just standing up crafting. You see a lot of my head. I'm sorry. If I could cut my head off, I would. I mean, if I can cut my head out of here, I would. So that is going to help hold it to this. So hot glue doesn't stick to plastic either. So I'm going to take felt and I'm going to glue it along here in sections or spurts just to have something to glue my greenery to, because this is rubber, the tray is plastic, and I want to make sure that it sticks. And that felt between it is going to make sure that it sticks. I don't know what the magic is of felt, but it works like a charm, y'all. Seriously. So I'm just going to glue some pieces on here and I'm going to quit with my head. So I'm just putting hot glue all over my little felt tabs here, and that's where I'm going to make contact with my greenery. I burnt myself. It came through the greenery. I burned myself this whole sinking video. But anyway, there that is. And then I have this big clump, and I would have loved to have, I got this at Hobby Lobby for 98 cents or $1 or so. I don't know what it was. It was cheap. And I took the tag off, and I would have loved to have just set this right down in the middle. Wouldn't that have been beautiful? But I couldn't. I have to take it all apart. Okay, I'm cut apart, so I'm just going to start adding stuff. My head is really in here, so I'm just going to add it and then let you see it in the end. When you do it, just put whatever you want on yours and make it your own, okay? So, as far as me, I'm just cutting everything apart, and I'm going to add it in as I go. I just don't want my head showing all the time. I did skip through a bunch and show you that I'm going to take one of these sprigs that's left and I'm going to stick it in the back there and cover up those little pine cones. I ended up not using the big pine cone because I couldn't get it to fit anywhere. So then I'm going to take those berries up there, and there's 3 to a set, okay? Those big red berries right there. And I'm going to take those big red berries and I am going to twist them up tighter, cut them off shorter, and I'm going to poke one in right there, and I'm going to poke one in on the other side down a little bit further. And I took those white, you see I got one left up there, the white berry, they're brown berries that was on the big clump pick. I'm going to eventually put it in there somewhere. That one right there, I'm going to glue it right there. And then I'm going to take my white paint and a chippy brush, and I'm going to go over my leaves, and I'm going to go over my berries to blend it in, because everything else looks like it has snow on it, and then you got these green leaves that ain't got nothing, and then them red things ain't got nothing. So I just wanted to put the white on it to make it match everything else, and that's what I did. You could put a hanger on the back of yours if you want to. I stuck mine in a stand right there. Aren't these DIYs just gorgeous? That's kind of simple but pretty. I'll probably give it to somebody or sell it. I don't want it. I thought it would be pretty. That I love. That is so stinking cute. You can't put it outside because it'll warp. It's just like thick cardboard. But look at the texture in that pillow sham. I love this. And then there's my tree that took me all day, I felt like. And I love it though. It come out so pretty, my little peppermint tree. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Krista and Brenda, for hosting this each month. I love it. It is so much fun. Y'all check out the entire playlist. Until next time, you are a blessing. Goodbye.